Together we are but first coffee. Susie's just our host, but what matters most is we are a team. Together we are all safe here, and so are you. Among friends and mods we are safe. We talk about trauma, break down drama of life, death, happy or sad, even mad. We discuss it all here. Together we will thrive, not just survive. We will dry each other's tears, celebrate big or small wins, and chase away the fears. Together we fight cults or fight addictions. If not with experience, with love, and we don't judge. Please understand, this is a safe place to land. Please understand, you're not alone. This is a safe place to land. Together we thrive, not just survive. We will dry each other's tears, celebrate big or small wins, and chase away the fears. Because we are but first coffee, and Susie welcomes us all here. Together we are but first coffee, and Susie.
Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? If my face looks a little weird, I'm not even gonna lie. And if you see glitter at the same time, I was trying out this makeup and I'm kind of glad I tried it out, that I was gonna put on Vetta's face whenever we do this little video that we're planning to do about aliens. Like, she's going to give all the facts, y'all, about aliens. And so we were going to do it Saturday, but we had to postpone it because they had a prior engagement that we were not aware of. So anyway, I tried this makeup, and you know, my face is really, really sensitive. Like, whenever I would do the Immature Emma makeup and I would have to take that makeup off, it would hurt my face. My face would be splotchy and red and everything. Well, it's kind of looking a little bit like that today too. And yeah, it got in my hair, and part of my hair is green. So I was going to wear the hat anyway, but for sure it's going on and staying on now with my green hair, because I'd already shampooed it. And I'm like, I don't want to shampoo it again today. But yeah. So anyway, it'll be fine. I've got some on the back of Vetta's neck now, and we're going to make sure that it works for her, because, you know, I don't want her breaking out. But I think it's just my skin is super sensitive, and she doesn't seem to be real sensitive to that. So anyway, so I just wanted to welcome everybody here, and I wanted to show that I did get my book in the mail, that Eat More Pizza Now wrote this book, and I am going to try to sit down tonight after the live and read it. That's my plan anyway, because I'm all caught up for tomorrow. So that's what I'm planning on. And so anyway, I've decided that we are going to have a giveaway in the coming weeks, and I've not decided exactly how we're going to do it, but this is going to be the gift that we give away. Not this one, because I'm keeping it, but we're going to give away one of David's books. So anyway, be looking for that. It is going to have something to do with a little game that I'm playing in the thumbnail section. So if y'all read my post in the community post deal, I said, now y'all be looking for the Easter eggs or things that just don't belong that are on starting this week on the thumbnails. And my mods have went completely crazy finding anything. So they've found, I don't know if they found them all yet. I need to make a list of what there are and see. But anybody out there that's in the chat or lurking or on the replay crew, go look at this week's thumbnails and look at them real close and just see what all's different, because it might be next week or the week after, but probably next week that we're going to run this contest. And we're going to take everybody that gets all of the thumbnails right and put them in a hat, and we're going to draw, or maybe we'll put it in this hat. I don't know. Anyway, but we're going to draw a name, and then whoever wins will get a book. So anyway, and if you're in the continental US, then I'll just have Amazon send it to you. If you're in Canada or somewhere else, then I'll have to mail it to you. So it'll take just a little bit longer. But yeah. Oh, my face. I don't know. I don't know what it looks like to y'all, but on my side of the camera, it looks splotchy. So it doesn't feel real hot. So that's a good thing. I did put my lotion that's got, I put a lotion and a sunscreen on every day, and I did put that on and put my tinted moisturizer on over it. So I've got moisturizer times 2, but I'm going to wash that off when we get done and just let it have some air. So anyway, today, y'all, you do need to buckle up because, we are going to go intergalactic. We are diving into the absolute strangest cults that I've never heard of until now. And I don't know if you all will have heard of it or not. But I promise you, once you do hear about them, you're not likely to forget about what is called. It's a shortened abbreviation of their name because, these cults like those real long names. So anyway, it is called the Universe People. They are also known as the cosmic people of the light powers. I don't know. I don't know what it is with the long names. But they're basically a little cocktail of UFOs, spiritual love, doomsday paranoia, and a whole lot of what in the name of wackadoodle do is this. They are different. Let's just say that. So, yeah. So let's just get into this, into our, let's get into our friend Heat's flight simulator and just take a trip to the Czech Republic. And when we get there, we're going to have to get out of his flight simulator, and we're going to have to find us a time machine, though, because we need to go all the way back to 1997. And that's where it's going to get weird, as if the flight simulator in the time machine weren't already weird. So it's going to get real weird real quick after that. And I'm talking about alien fleets hiding behind the moon. I'm talking about evil reptilian people / aliens. I'm talking about a man who claims to telepathically chat with a space commander named Ashtar Sharon on the daily. And I'm not making this up. I'm not making it up. I promise you. And we're going to get into that right after I check in with the chat real quick. So I'm going to check with you all, and then we are going to get into this. And the whole hat thing will make sense eventually. I promise. So, Mare, it is nice to see you. She says, nice hat, Susie. I'm assuming that was in the thumbnail because she hadn't seen me with the hat yet. But yeah. Yeah. It is covering the little bit of green that's in my hair, and it's in other places on my hair too. So I'm gonna have to wash it probably in the morning. No, I'm not going to do it today. Jersey Jan is here. You can't wait to hear what this is all about. It's interesting. I mean it. It is interesting. Mare says, hi, JJ. You don't know about the conspiracy theories. The royal family are supposed to be lizard people. Well, this one's not that one. Yeah. That's a good one, and we'll probably go into it, but that's not this one. Oh, sorry, I put it back up there on accident. Yeah, is Aaron their leader? No. That's just one of the little Easter eggs. That little picture of Aaron, that's one I'll give you. It's an Easter egg because everything's Aaron's fault, right? So I put everything's Aaron's fault, or it's all Aaron's fault, whatever I put. I don't even remember. A quiet, peaceful dance. Hello, good to see you. Lori Driscoll, hey, good to see you too. She's always so friendly. Eileen Bradley, good to see you too. Bugalugs, very good to see you. Seems like it's been a while, but again, I've been having so many of the comments starred that I may just have been missing you, but if not, good to see you back. So Therese Norse, good to see you too. I remember your name. I've seen you in here before. Eat More Pizza Now. Good to see you. I'm going to be reading that book. I'm going to try to sit down and read it tonight if Mark doesn't, he talks a lot. And Veta tends to come in and I like try to hide off in the bedroom. It doesn't work. She just comes in there and piles up on the bed and wants to talk till like 9 o'clock at night. And I'm like, don't you need to go home? You got to go to bed at 9:15. Goodness. Hey, John, good to see you. Purple Princess. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Evie, good to see you. Very good to see you. I love when y'all talk to each other. I sure do. I really do. I don't know why, but that just always makes me really happy. Hey, Indigo. Good to see you too. I was thinking about you the other day because I have a brand new parody that I'm going to do. It's probably going to be a few days. But anyway, the girl's name is Indigo. So I was thinking of you. So anyway, Mischief is here. She's in the back office. Yeah, you're in need of snacks. I'll have to try to send you some. Oh, wow. I'm just reading. I don't know why I'm reading everything, but I mean, I'm like reading all the comments even when you're talking to each other. Oh, wow, the Apollonia show. I don't remember your name, but it's always good to see somebody. So hello, and I hope you come back. Welcome. It is interesting that they're doing scientific studies into neurology about nonverbal autists. Yeah. Who communicate telepathically. The podcast is called the Telepathy Tapes. That's interesting. I had not heard of that, but that is very interesting. Very interesting. Really? Therese, your son is nonverbal autistic? Wow. We'd love to talk to you sometime. I'm always looking for people to come on and tell their stories and just it's amazing. We've got one of our well, actually two of our mods because they're married to each other that they have a autistic daughter. Now she's verbal, but she's very I don't remember what the numbers are, but like if they're like she's not the highest number, but she's not the lowest. She's like in the middle or something. And anyway, they have to watch her all the time, and she's adorable, and I just love her. I truly do. Yeah, it is a great day to not be in a cult, and I don't know. This one might be fun in a wacky kind of way. So Mischief graduated from high school in 1980. I graduated from high school in 1984. Yeah, it has been a while. Great to catch you live again. Bugger looks good. I'm really glad. Hey, Carrie, I'm going to email you later. I'm getting tongue-tied already. Carrie, there's some stuff I wanted to talk to you about. Nothing, just a couple ideas I had. So anyway. Hey, let's see. Is that show scared the crap out of me? It's a bit complicated, but you think it's an easy read. Oh, I love all that. I'm sure that I'll read it as long as they'll leave me alone. As long as they'll leave me alone and let me read. I read really fast whenever they leave me alone and let me do it. I do have to make hamburgers after I get off of here, so I won't be able to start immediately. Reese says, some days I feel like I'm 18, the other days like I'm 17. So you feel young all the time, huh? Jersey Jan definitely doesn't feel my age. I don't either. Most of the time I'm 59, unless you listen to Reese, and then I'm about 70. But anyway, most of the time I honestly feel like that I should still be like in my 30s or 40s, but I have daughters in their 30s and 40s. So, yeah. Oh, 80, not 18. Okay. Hey, Doug. Good to see you too. Goodness. Trying to get down through here and see. I don't want to miss anybody. Oh, I got to the end. Well, what do you know? Well, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and get started on this, and I think it's pretty interesting. I do have a couple of slides. Well, there's actually 6, but they're not a bunch of reading and everything. Well, a couple of them are, but not a lot. But anyway, mainly you're just going to have to listen to me talk. And I do have my notes because I am in the midst of a flare from my Hashimoto's. So my brain's not working, y'all. My brain is kind of taking a vacation today. So let's get started. And basically, are y'all ready for this? Because it's going to be interesting. I wanted to have that song, when it goes, are you ready for this? Yeah. Yeah, Jenny, I know what you mean. Absolutely. Yeah, it is tough. Thank you, Indigo. Yeah, it is really tough. My daughter has Hashimoto's too, but she also has lupus, so she has it worse than me. But that could also be my face is doing this. It may not have anything at all to do with the makeup. So we're going to just see. Of course, I was going to put just this little bit of this on my face just to like mess with it. And then I thought, oh, I'm going to do this deal where I do half of my face like a lizard for today's show, and then half of it not. So I did all that. And then after a while, I was like, oh, I'm feeling itchy and gross. But this side is doing it too. And I didn't have makeup over here. So I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, so the Universe people, y'all, they were founded in 1997 by a dude named Ivo A. Binda. And he was an engineer by training, but he had a gift for spiritual delusion. Seriously. And a love for a PowerPoint presentation. Let me tell you. So according to this Binda dude, he began getting telepathic messages from extraterrestrials in October of 1997. I mean, that's what he says anyway. Don't shoot the messenger, y'all. I'm just telling you what he said. So don't be saying Susie said this guy was getting telepathic messages. So anyway, but especially this ET dude named Ashtar Sharon. Yeah. So I don't know. So this Ashtar Sharon guy was an alien commander who apparently spends his days just orbiting around the Earth in a invisible fleet of UFOs. Okay, so I'm just setting the stage so that you know what we're talking about. So this Binda told in a Czech TV interview in 1998, he said, and this is a quote, "I have personally communicated with cosmic people over 1,000 times." Seriously. Whenever I was doing all this, I thought, y'all, Xenu is starting to not sound quite so far-fetched. So, anyway, by 1999, Binda had written a 900-plus page book titled Talks with Teachings from My Friends from the Universe. Anyway, the thing was just absolutely full of transcripts from all of these cosmic Zoom calls that he was having. And, I wonder if that's where Reese gets all of her ideas for these 14-hour Zoom calls from all these space alien cosmic Zoom calls. I don't know. But anyway, the tone of these transcripts was very messianic, urgent, and more than just a little bit unhinged, according to everybody that read them. So he warned that the Earth was headed for destruction. And then wouldn't you know it, only those who embraced the vibration of love and light, which was his little cult, would be rescued by alien spacecraft. The rest of us, doomed. Yeah, doomed. So anyway, in 1999, on the universepeople.com, which is their official website, he said, the cosmic people have have ships prepared, y'all. Well, okay, I might have thrown in the y'all, but they have ships prepared. And those who awaken will be taken aboard before the planet is cleared. What? Yeah. Okay. The core beliefs were the Earth is under surveillance by a benevolent galactic confederation. The confederations, led by this ET guy, this Ashtar Sharon, and he communicates with this confederation guy via telepathy, and that the guy will only talk to the chosen people. So if you're not chosen, you're not going to get a Zoom call from him. But if you're chosen, you never know. You might. So anyway, another little thing that I found really interesting, that there are some negative ETs. Like, they're not all just nice and they're not all phoning home, y'all. And they're called Saurians. And these Saurians are actually reptilian entities. And they are trying to enslave humanity using microchips, credit cards, TV programming, fast food, and vaccines. Yeah. They even went for the vaccines. So, according to this archive.com snapshot of universepeople.com in 2003, Benda claimed vaccination is a satanic system meant to implant microchips and disconnect people from the light. So basically, vaccines are bad. Don't get them. They're going to put microchips in it, and you're going to be doomed because you're not going to connect with the light. And that's the only people that are going to survive, right? So, yeah, I told you, it gets very, very interesting. Now, I wondered what was a daily life like in the land of the universe people, right? So I looked it up, and they said that some of them actually moved into communes, or they just isolated themselves off away from other people, even if they weren't in a commune. But they rejected all modern conveniences, and others, they just followed his instructions online. What I thought was funny was that you've got some of them that are actually like rejecting modern conveniences, and then these others over here that are following him online. Wouldn't online be considered a modern convenience? Or, I mean, how modern do you have to be, or does it have to be to be modern? Because I was just thinking that would surely kind of, I don't get it. But anyway, they wore white robes, they practiced telepathic meditation, and distributed pamphlets. Now, these pamphlets, they were actually responsible for printing them. You know, they would have like the template for it or whatever, but you actually had to like print them yourself, and you had to you had to take care of your own postage, the whole paper, the ink, the whole thing. And what was really funny was, of course, they made them very colorful too. So, that even cost more. Not like you're just getting some black ink or something. No, they had lots of colors. So, yeah. And so you were responsible for doing that all yourself. So, they were often just stuffed into random people's mailboxes, which is illegal, but hey. But they actually did that, just stuffed them into random mailboxes of strangers, because it was like a lot cheaper to do that, drive around and just stuff them in mailboxes, than it was to actually pay for the postage and stuff. So anyway, and this was all around Prague and Bratislavia. Sorry. So some of the other people in the group, they actually refused to use smartphones. They avoided medical treatment, like it was going to, insert some kind of a chip in them and keep them from being saved whenever the earth got cleared. Nobody wants that. But they did, they insisted on spirituality, and they insisted on cleansing their food before they would eat it. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I didn't have any idea what the hell spiritually cleaning your food was. I didn't know what it was. So I do have some slides that tell what that was. So I'm going to pop those up real quick. These shouldn't take too long. So common methods of spiritual cleansing food, laying of hands or energy channeling. So practitioners place their hands over the food and channel light energy from divine or extraterrestrial sources. Ugh. Some imagine white or golden light flooding into the food to neutralize negative vibrations. In the universe people's case, they might even ask Ashtar Sharan or whatever for interstellar help. It says cleanse your food by surrounding it in the light energy and asking the cosmic friends to remove all harmful vibrations. And that is in the universepeople.com teachings. So that's where that was at in 2004. So I'm going to move this so I can read all of those. Verbal blessings or channeled prayers, not a traditional prayer, but a spoken invocation to cosmic beings, spirit guides, or quote unquote, the light. Example, I call upon the Cosmic Confederation to purify this food, remove all toxins, and infuse it with the light of love. Sometimes even speaking telepathically to higher beings before each meal. I guess that would be kind of like the extraterrestrial version of saying grace before a meal. I mean, I guess it's not really all that strange if you think about it. But yeah, we're not going to start we're not going to start the vax debate, please. So they were against it. Whether you are or not, we're not going to argue that. So anyway, hey, Itchy Thetans, good to see you. So anyway, but I guess that would be, right? Wouldn't that be kind of like saying grace, and the light would be like their God, because it's like, it's not just a light over there. They're talking about like the creator of everything. So another way was with crystals. Some use crystals like clear quartz, amethyst, or selenite to charge their food or water by placing them nearby or under the plate for several minutes. This is believed to align the meal with higher vibrations and neutralize any dark energy. And then there was also breathing rituals. Practitioners blow intentionally over the food. I do that when it's hot. I didn't know I was purifying the food. But they visualize toxins or dark forces leaving the meal and being replaced by light. So now this one, I don't know. Avoidance of certain ingredients. In many spiritual food cleansing ideologies, especially within cults, meat, GMOs, microwave food, and preservatives are seen as inherently impure. Some universe people follow avoided store-bought items entirely unless they had been re-blessed. So, yeah. Getting a little more different, if you ask me. Sorry, I'm hitting the button and it is not cooperating. And this is the last one of these caveats and cult warnings. Group that obsess over spiritually food cleaning cleansing can slide into extreme control or paranoia, especially if members begin believing normal food is spiritually dangerous. In groups like the Universe People, this contributed to distrust of healthcare, nutrition science, and public food systems. All food made by corporations is tainted. Prepare your own meals, cleanse with light, and do not trust shops of the system. That's Brenda's Food Purity Teachings from the universepeople.com food manifesto in 2006. Yeah. I always bless my food too, especially with the 5-second rule. That's absolutely right. Pizza, absolutely right. So yeah, I don't know. I wonder, I need to look that up. I wonder if in, like, say, Christianity, for instance, this is something I've never thought of till actually right now, even though I read all this stuff the last 2 or 3 days. But I wonder if, saying grace or a blessing over a meal, I wonder if that's some sort of like purification thing. I could kind of see it being like that. But yeah, different. Very different. It's weird the whole blowing on the food to like, blow the I don't know about that. You'd have to be blowing pretty hard, I think, to I don't know. So another thing I wondered about was how they made their money, because all cults have to make money. I mean, especially if they're living communally, and they always got to put that whoever the leader is up, right? Because if nobody else is making any money, at least they got to have money for him or her, right? So in the defense of the universe people, they aren't your usual like cash grab cult. They're not like that. And you notice I say they aren't like that because yes, they are still in existence. They're not like Scientology or a lot of the other cults like that where they're out, just whatever they can do to make money and selling all this stuff. But they do have some ways of doing it. They did monetize their beliefs. But it's just in an East European budget kind of way, like not, as flashy of doing it and as bold in your face kind of thing as like a lot of our cult leaders that we see are. But this Benda guy, he did, oops, I'm going to put that back up there where the chat can be back on the screen. Sorry, I don't think it moved a whole lot though. I think it catches up anyway, so it'll catch up in just a minute. But anyway, Benda did sell books and CDs and lecture DVDs and all that. He sold all that on their website. So they were making money with, that kind of stuff, but it just wasn't like the kind of deal like, say, Scientology, where you have to buy all those books and take all these classes and do all this. It wasn't, or it isn't like that, or hasn't been, so far. Now, when something happens to this Benda dude, and somebody else takes over, if that's the case, we'll see what happens then. But so far, no, they're actually kind of like, I don't know, not all that scary, to be perfectly honest, just a little wackadoodle. So they do solicit donations for spiritual work, and they love energy propagation. So, they just like all of that, they just your normal kind of like woohoo stuff, or what is it that I can't remember. Somebody can put it on there, John, if you're in here, what Jimena says with her hippy dippy stuff, so a lot of it is their little hippy dippy stuff. So yeah, the followers are, it says asked, but I don't think they really had much of a choice. They were asked to print their own and distribute their own literature at their own expense and all that. So that's why they, often just stuffed them in the mailboxes. So they do have a donation page, and they have a donation page. I'm sorry. And in 2004, Benda said, if you cannot give materially, offer your service and time. Let us spread the light of love. So it was all about like light and love and lizard people. And now remember, the lizard people are the bad ones. I was kind of like thinking, well, if you're going to be an alien, be it lizard people. But apparently, no, they're the bad ones. So, but anyway, so no IRS filings, no Swiss bank accounts, none of that kind of stuff that we see a lot of times in cults. But money still moved, because we don't forget that there's a leader, and he might have been an engineer, but he did manage to quit working about, 1999 or something. He quit working. Yeah, 1999. He completely quit working traditional jobs. So they had to, have ways to support him. I mean, he wasn't living like a rock star. He was living very, modestly, but he was still living modestly. He probably would have lived a much fancier life if he had just continued to work, but he was too busy. So Doug is the Lizard King. Yeah. What? Anyway, I'll read it in a little bit. I don't know what I'm supposed to read that's embarrassing, but I'll read it. You know me. So they did have their little controversies and criticisms because, I don't know of any cult that doesn't have those. So one being the whole mental health concerns. And the Czech psychologist, they have warned that Benda exhibits signs of a delusional disorder, and that he may harm others with induced psychosis. So they're watching him, and they know that this guy, he's got some problems, and that he could really benefit from some mental health care and probably medication and, a psychiatrist and all that. But no, because the good aliens told him that that's what the bad aliens, that's what the lizard people aliens, they want them to go and get psychiatric care. And so they're not going to do it. So according to Dr. Jan Charvat, a psychiatrist at Charles University in 2004, his behavior borders on pathological. And this Dr. Charvat said, he influences the mentally vulnerable into abandoning reality. That is serious. I mean, it's scary. It really is. Anytime that you are, putting undue influence on people that are mentally vulnerable, that is just, I don't know, it just terrifies me for people. It really does. The second thing that they're, little controversy over is the whole doomsday rhetoric. So they've had repeated predictions of, Earth's destructions, and unless enough people join, y'all. Now, if enough people join, it's not going to be destroyed. But if enough people join the light, then it wouldn't be destroyed. But there was some serious fear of a literal Heaven's Gate kind of style mass suicide, especially in 2000, and then again in 2002 or 2012. Heaven's Gate was the ones that they all dressed alike, and they all had the same Nike tennis shoes and all that, and they unalived themselves. They laid down on their bunks and they all unalived themselves, which was awful. And so they're really afraid of this, and so the authorities are really trying to pay attention and watch these people. But no such tragedy happened. And obviously, so far, knock on wood, the earth has not been destroyed. But the police in Prague, they have been quietly monitoring this group for years and years. So the third thing that bothers people is some of their public stunts. So they have posters with UFO rescue instructions, and they tape these up to all of the public transit stops. So, they're trying to scare people, and the police think that that's like a stunt, and they don't like it at all. Yeah. Pizza. Yeah, it was. Heaven's Gate it was crazy. So anyway, and I don't like the word either, but there are some things that's just what it was. Absolutely. So anyway, the police are really not liking this, and they're going around trying to take down all these posters that they're putting up at all these transit stops because, first of all, again, a lot of the people, not everybody, but a lot of the people that use these public transit things some of them are like the homeless or the very poor, and a lot of them are, mentally, the word just went out of my head, but anyway, yeah. Vulnerable. There you go. So yeah, they're really worried about that. In 2002, Benda publicly asked the Czech government to allow UFO/alien landings at the Prague airport. So he's serious about this stuff. And I don't know if I'm more bothered by the fact that he is serious about it and absolutely believes it, or if he was just, making all this crap up. I don't know which would be more scary. So I am interested to find out what y'all think about that. Would it be more scary for him to believe it, or more scary for him to be making it up? So y'all, he even called a press conference in a hotel ballroom. Now, there was actually no press there, just his followers, and a very hopeful look on his face. They said that he really looked like he just wanted all these people to show up and the press to be there and everything, and it didn't turn out that way. So, a couple quotes or significant phrases that this group uses, and this one is a quote. It says, "You are loved by the cosmic people. You are not your job, your phone, or your number." And that was on a flyer in 2001. So this is one of the flyers that they were putting out to all these people. So I'm not really sure what they meant by you're not what was it, your job, your phone, or your number. I don't know what number they're talking about. Would it be your social security number? I mean, do they have that in Prague? I don't know. But I am curious, and it didn't go into any more detail about it, of anything I could find. So in 2004, Benda said, those who reject the light shall be cleansed by the great wave. So, yeah, that's not trying to scare people, is it? And then in 2010, he said, the earth is in spiritual war. Choose the light or be taken by the Saurian system of darkness. Again, the Saurians are the lizard people, and they are very serious about that. We joke, but they mean it. So what do y'all think? Is this a cult, or is this like just some weird comedy that Susie dreamed up? Did I just make it all up? It's not April Fool's Day, but did I make it up? I mean, let's be easy. Let's be honest. It's real easy to laugh, right? At a man who talks to invisible ET and rants that credit cards are a portal to evil. But y'all, it's real. Yeah. Not my imagination. My imagination isn't good enough to make all that shit up. I promise you that. Yeah, it's plausible. So anyway, so people have said that Benda abandoned rationality and he pulled others with him. So when they say they pulled others, it always reminds me of Scientology, where they said that you pulled it in, because a lot of the stuff that they said here, like, clearing the planet and I don't know, just stuff like that, and then pulling others with him. And there's just, I don't know, there was 4 or 5 different things that I saw that it made it seem very much like Scientology, but and even a more alien kind of a situation. I don't know. So his teachings discourage modern medicine, and that has greatly contributed to health neglect among his cult. They die in large numbers of things that absolutely could be fixed, and so they don't have a real high life expectancy. So anyway, so what started as one man's mystical delusion morphed into a fringe movement that was complete with doomsday warnings, anti-science paranoia, and spiritual elitism. Any of that sound familiar? Sounds real familiar to me. So the universe people claim to have numbered around 12,000, and that would just be in that certain area of Europe, around Prague. And but there's really no official, they don't have like books that have everybody's name in it, because there's so many different ways that people practice this religion. And some people are just doing it from their internet, some people are living in little groups that they're kind of hid off. I mean, so there's really no way to have known that. But the police said that they believe that it may have at some point been around 4,000 tops, but that's still a lot of people in a small area. So anyway, I did leave out one little tidbit that I saved for last, and y'all probably could guess what it was. So, promoted as a legitimate form of spiritual and technological protection, many members did often wear protective head coverings in the form of tinfoil hats. Some of them were actually made out of foil. Some of the ones that didn't have money for any of the bigger stuff. Others had like lead things stuffed up in their ball caps and stuff that were supposed to help protect their brains from the lizard people. And there's just a lot of different things. And this was about as close as I could get to a tinfoil hat. So I was gonna make one out of tinfoil, but tinfoil is expensive, or aluminum, oh, I can't talk, aluminum foil. And so I didn't really want to waste that money. So I was just going to buy one. But then I thought, well, I'm only going to wear that once. So I bought this one and I figured, well, I might wear it again. And if not, yeah, that's why I'm wearing that hat. That and to cover up the green in my hair because, I might be turning into a lizard person. So anyway. So why did they wear the hats? Well, they believed that Earth was constantly under attack by the lizard people / aliens, and that would, hey, Jennifer, that would, oh, thank God. I'm going to do this while I'm thinking about it. Jennifer gets the trophy. Jennifer gets the trophy. Absolutely. Came back negative. Thank you, God. I am so glad. I am so glad. Oh, goodness. Now I'm going to cry. I'm going to try to pull myself together a second. Oh. Okay, I'm about to get it together, I think. So not only did they wear these tinfoil hats, y'all, but they would sometimes adorn them with crystals and, all kinds of things to bling them up a little bit. So, I'd have to absolutely bedazzle mine. It didn't get here till late last night and I didn't have time to bedazzle it yet. So it's just a plain tinfoil hat at the moment. Next time you see it, no telling what it's going to look like. I'm going to have some crystals hanging off of it. So anyway, I am going to check back in with the chat and see what you all think about this one. Had you ever heard of them? What do you think about it? Do you think that there's lizard people that are circling the earth 24 hours a day and have been for, years and years and years and years, decades and decades and decades at this point, in invisible spacecrafts? I don't know. I mean, I'm going to see what you all think. So let's see what the chat has to say. I told you we were going to have like some little less, all that like really hard stuff and just talk about maybe some little funnier things for a while. I'm going to look at these starred comments first and then we'll see what else we've got. So, okay. Doug says, my dearest friend has lupus and she is struggling badly. Oh, gosh. I'm worried about her. I know. I worry about my daughter, too. It's Vetta's mom. I worry myself sick over it. She just has such a hard time. Once a month, she has like a infusion. It's a lot like what I would have with my chemo. And it does a lot of the same things, only doesn't make her hair fall out so far. But lupus and Hashimoto's and all that can do that too. So you just never know. But lupus is so bad. It's so bad. Eileen says, I'll mostly be listening. The lizard people are making me go back to work. And it's all Aaron's fault. Amen. I believe it, Eileen. It is. You all that are new, you might not get the whole, it's, Aaron's fault. There's a group of people that were at some point in this whole community, the anti-Scientology community, and everything that went wrong, they just blamed it on Aaron. They still do. We're all working for Aaron. He pays all of us to do these things. And I've never seen a check. I've never even had a conversation with the man other than to say hi on a video or something. If he's live, I'll be like, hey, Aaron. He'd be like, hey, Susie, good to see you. That's it. So unless that is some kind of a contract, like in code, then if so, he's in breach of it because I've not got paid, not one thing. So anyway, that's what all the Aaron's fault thing is. If you're new here and didn't know that. So I forget sometimes that we do have so many new people that didn't come here just for the anti-Scientology stuff. So yeah, Indigo, it does. It sounds a lot like Heaven's Gate and Scientology had a baby. Absolutely. That's what I thought too. Yeah. So Eat More Pizza says, I try to take over the universe with cynicism and sarcasm. Yeah, just bring pizza. As long as you bring pizza. Uh, uh, says itchy proof that vaccines don't cause autism. 7 siblings and half are likely on the spectrum. Okay. Let's see here. I'm always on the replay for Susie. Aw, ironically in the morning while making coffee. Cool. Great. I was just saying restricting access to medical professionals seems common with cults for some reason. I know. I really don't understand why. I mean, I don't know. And I really couldn't find it anywhere where this particular one, like, even thought that they could fix everything because, like Scientology, they think that only Scientologists can cure everything. And that if you just, do the steps and if you just, stay on course and you just all the stuff, all the stuff that it'll fix everything. It doesn't. People, you know, drop the body all the time. But I mean, it's just bizarre. This one didn't seem to even be like that. And yet they're absolutely against any kind of medical treatment and not just mental health, any kind. So a lot of times local places have more heart. I think I missed something, but I probably agree. Yeah, like cafes, like local things like cafes as well, usually has great vibes. Absolutely. Shop local or small or, they have different ones. It says, well, scientifically and chemically speaking, some pre-made foods do have ingredients that contribute to weight gain and other issues from food dyes and preservatives that aren't good. Absolutely. There's things that I was like, well, I kind of get that. And like I'll be studying different cults and they'll be talking about some of the things that they don't like. And I'm like, well, I kind of get it. And like how this one where they were talking about, preserved, prepackaged foods and all that. I get that. I mean, I can kind of get it and eating clean and everything. But then I don't know, the whole lizard people and the having to spiritually cleanse your food, which I am going to go study that and see if it's the same thing as like saying grace, if there's some, I don't know, some kind of play there going on. Praying over meals or saying grace has roots in ancient Jewish tradition and was adopted by early Christians as a way to express gratitude for food and acknowledge God's provision. Yeah, Jesus himself is depicted in the Gospels praying before meals, which further solidified the process or the practice in Christian, tradition. That's what I've always heard. I just wondered if there was also like some kind of a, purification kind of a deal, or I don't know. It's one of those things I'm always wondering stuff. Yeah. Oh, did I miss it? It says the reset was a typo, right? She says yes, but I missed it. I was going to read it. This ideal, I do believe in healing properties of crystals, but also in modern science. Me too. Me too. I think we're on the same page there, actually. According to Jim Morrison, there are lizards circling the earth. Yeah. One of my client's friends is adopting her niece right now and just got her 3rd cancer diagnosis. Girlfriend is strong and love watching Susie's spirit. It helps me support my friends. Aw, thank you. Yeah. Right now, I am as close to cancer free as I am ever likely to get. It is microscopic, I mean, teeny tiny microscopic, and has not grown in 6 months without any kind of treatment. So we're doing good. Is it sick? You just need more auditing. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So yeah, I never did see what the typo was. So somebody's gonna have to tell me. Oh wow, there's a lot of stuff I didn't see. Okay. Uh, so it says, to be clear, Doctor Who lizard people are named the same and look the same. They were first in the show in the 60s. Hmm. Oh, yeah, waiting on a mammogram. That is, ugh. Mm. Oh, yeah. Have you been waiting on the results for a month? That's ridiculous if that's the case. Yeah, Land of the Lost. Yeah. I need to quit reading them. I need to read them out loud. I'm just not with it today. My face is really itching. I'm gonna put some. I'm gonna take this moisturizer off, and I'm gonna put some Benadryl cream on after I get done here. Mare says the lizard people are messing up my internet. Now, Mare, I believe that one because you have said that it has been just, what is it, buffering constantly lately. So I'm beginning to believe it might be the lizard people. Oh, you've had typos all through the stream. Whenever I get to typing so fast that I make them all the time. And so I don't even think about it. And so much of the time I'll just read whatever I think it says. It's just what I see. So yeah. Oh yeah. Wins in the typo derby today, Mischief. Good. Check messenger. Okay. Okay. I don't know. The typo derby. Yeah. Well, y'all, I am really glad that you're here. And tomorrow we are actually going to be talking about the things that we need to be doing to keep our skin healthy, which apparently is don't put on green uh, face paint and glitter paint because I also had glitter in my eyes. So I'm glad I didn't have to read very much. I do want to, before we go, show these last 3 slides. I forgot all about them. I thought that you might want to see a picture of this guy that runs this cult, actually. So this is Ivo Astar Benda, which I thought it was funny that his middle name is Astar, and this cosmic confederacy guy is his name is Astar. So anyway, so this was him when he was younger. He's gotten a lot more like not so friendly looking as the years have went by. This is more current. So, this is when he started. I did put my hat in there, y'all. That is actually my hat. I got it off of Amazon on my orders, so I looked at that. So, yeah, this one kind of looks creepy. I don't know. Maybe he needed some medicine. He might have been having some allergies. Looks a little, you know, little dark in the eyes, right? So, anyway, so there was that one. And then this one is this was their this is how they depicted themselves as all just love and light and hippy dippy stuff. So, and then this was one of the flyers that they would put around, and it showed stuff that you're supposed to get rid of, like snooping and cameras, and things are snooping on you, and it's devil vision and all that. So I'm going to put these in the post over on the community page so that you'll be able to see them a little bit better, because no matter how much I did it, it just started getting really blurry. So I didn't blow them up anymore. So there's that. And then there's one more. That's this one. It's another one of this is one of their flyers that they would put out. And then this one, I wonder if I can. Let's see here. Hold on a minute. Ugh. Well, Susie's not, her fingers are not working. Yeah. So this was the only picture that was confirmed that I could find of the members or some of the members of this cult. There were other pictures that I thought might have been them, but this was the only one that was confirmed. And this one, this guy in the front does have one of their flyers in his hand. So I did confirm that that is one of their flyers. So, yeah. Anyway, so they're different. Let's just put it that way. They are different. But I thought it might be nice to hear about one that was not, you know, unaliving everybody or just, I mean, other than their beliefs in, whoops, that's not what I'm trying to do. Other than their, I mean, I'm not even bothered by the whole alien thing or the, you know, lizard people, but they're like against medicine and stuff like that. And I mean, I agree. Credit cards can be, you know, straight from the devil, but I don't believe that they are literally straight from the lizard people. So, but yeah, tomorrow we're going to talk about what we're supposed to be doing with our skin as far as EV or UV protection month goes. We're going to talk about that. And I've got a whole list of stuff that it's kind of a, you know, do as I say, not as I do, because I am terrible about not minding my own advice on that. I am horrible about not using sunscreen. And I'm going to tell you the truth. It's an absolute miracle that I have not had skin cancer in my life. It really is. I do have a friend that she's had it multiple times, and she's trying to get her schedule, maneuvered around so that she might be able to be here. So I'm hoping she can be here, but I'm not promising that. She's very busy. And so I don't know, but we're going to try. But anyway, and any other day is just as busy. She works 2 full-time jobs. And so she's working everywhere, somewhere. Oh, I see somebody. Let's see here. I don't want to miss that to tell you thank you. Eat More Pizza gifted 5 But First Coffee memberships. Thank you so much. That's very kind. I just saw that right at the last minute and did not want to miss it. So y'all, I'm going to go get my face washed, make a couple of hamburgers for me and Mark, and hopefully this whole thing that's going on will be back to normal tomorrow. I love you guys, and I'll see you here same time, same place tomorrow. Bye.
Hope you enjoyed the show. So glad you were here. We meet here most days. We're But First Coffee, and you're welcome here. We talk about hard subjects, but we also laugh a lot. If you have a loss or win, we will cheer for you. We're But First Coffee, and you are safe here. So hit those like and subscribe buttons, notifications set to all. You don't want to miss a show, because this is your home to y'all. So hit those like and subscribe buttons, notifications set to all. You don't want to miss a show, because this is your home to y'all. So hit those like and subscribe buttons, notifications set to all.